Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Scorpio November 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 3. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is as far as November goes, the Mars will be in Libra from the 1st until the 19th. So the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, and this could manifest in a multitude of ways. This could be, in some cases where you might have less vitality and stamina than usual. You might be busy. It might be some battles, some legal battles that are private. At this time, you may be dealing with Scorpio. And if you're unattached, you may connect with a Libra sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Libra characteristics. That can be it could be for a sexual liaison. It might be a clandestine relationship. It might be dealing with a lot of suppressed anger at this time as well, Scorpio. And you may find yourself at this time as well, perhaps in some cases where, again, the anger may be suppressed. You might be also injecting a lot of energy and vitality into Libra type activities and solitude and seclusion. And at this time as well, and it could be things like art, like graphic art design or sculpting, drawing, painting. Also, it could be even legal battles that might be private at this time that you might be dealing with. And it could be a time where you might be becoming incensed over. It could be where people that might be, this 12th house is about our hidden adversaries and enemies. And it might be a time where these people may be making you somewhat angry, people that may be pretending to be friends, and especially like Libra is about relationships. It could be people that might be, you feel a strong connection with, but they're really, you're really starting maybe to figure out they might be hidden adversaries. You're becoming angry at them. And these people might actually be hidden adversaries, whether you realize it or not. So those are some ways that this could manifest and pan out. Now, the next thing, and it could be battles with people that you're in relationships with that might actually be hidden adversaries. I think that's really the way to really look at that. Anyway. Now, another thing is, next thing up, Mars will be in Scorpio as far as November goes from the 19th until the 30th. So the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, this can manifest in a multitude of ways as well. You might feel increased vitality and energy at this time, Scorpio. It could also be about injecting a lot of energy and vitality into Scorpio-type new beginnings, such as the occult, astrology, supernatural, locksmithing. It could be something with embalming or maybe even making a major transformation. This could be a good time to start maybe working out vigorously as far as transforming the physical body. It could also be a time too, if you're unattached, Scorpio, you may connect with a Scorpio sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Scorpio characteristics. And it could be for a sexual liaison. It may be somebody that may be instrumental in your new beginnings. Perhaps it could be someone you knew from your early childhood, like a childhood sweetheart. And anyway, and it could also be a person that might really impact, play an integral role in your outlook on life. These could be battles you might be having with that are connected with, revenge or jealousy, just general bitterness. It can be with a grandmother in some cases, maybe someone you knew from your early childhood. And it could also be at a time too, you need to guard against injuries at this time, Scorpio, to the Scorpio type areas, such as areas near where the bladder might be. It could even be surgery in some cases on that. It could even manifest in some injury to by the pelvic area. Anything that could be Scorpio related. You might come across as a little bit more aggressive and assertive than usual. And again, the situation with a grandmother, even people from your early childhood, may be a little bit more contentious and acrimonious than usual. Now, the next thing up, Jupiter will still be in Sagittarius, so the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, for Scorpio, well, this could be about where As I've talked about previously, Jupiter can be rather paradoxical. It could be very strongly benign and benevolent, but it could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. Now, in some cases, this could expand and enlarge rather foolhardy, reckless, even over-optimistic, over-exuberant energy in monetary matters. Be very careful if you're making some kind of investment that you're not overly reckless at this time, Scorpio. It could also be a time too, and also it could really, at this time as well, on a positive note, it could be very auspicious for Sagittarius money-making endeavors, such as something with sports, the law, philosophy, religion, translation, archery, anything sports related again, but perhaps especially something with horses or archery. Any teaching, such as teaching art, giving archery lessons, or giving horseback riding lessons, something, again, anything that could be Sagittarius related, doing something with the travel industry. And also, too, it could be a time, too, where it could also expand really Sagittarius-like values, like being philosophical and religious, incorporating those kind of things into one's value system at this time, and also auspicious for perhaps the outdoors and sports, improving one's self-esteem and self-worth at this time. It could be a very prosperous period right now for you, Scorpio, because we're talking about Jupiter, the planet of luck, fortunes, prosperity, in its dignity in Sagittarius, and this could be done perhaps through a lot of just by being very positive, being upbeat, being that incorrigible optimist, seeing the positive, and just having a general positive outlook, being very expansive, upbeat, and optimistic. Next thing up, Saturn will still be in Capricorn, so the third house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, this could manifest in multiple ways. This could be a time too where you might be feeling a little bit more despondent and melancholy, more so than usual, Scorpio, because remember, the third house is connected with the rational mind, rational thinking. Saturn is a planet of despondency and dejection. You may be taking care of a sickly or debilitated sibling, cousin, or neighbor. It could be something Capricorn related, such as something with the knees, the bones, the joints, the hamstrings, may be making you feel somewhat despondent and melancholy. You also may be experiencing certain limitations and restrictions in your communications at this time, and maybe even matters with neighbors, with siblings, with cousins, people from your early education. Perhaps some older people might be figuring more prominently in your communications and short journeys at this time, Scorpio, more so than usual. But this could also manifest on a positive note in gaining structure and discipline in your communications, in your short journeys, in matters with cousins, with siblings, with neighbors. This could also be a time too about really assimilating information, doing so with a lot of Saturn/Capricorn, a lot of laborious, consistent effort, and again, gaining perhaps structure and discipline in your communications, and also in learning things, just processing information in general at this time. So those are some ways that this may manifest and pan out.